Hello and welcome to our 25th Trader Chat. Today is the 25th of April 2012, and as always I need to start things off by running through some very important and legally obliged disclaimers. The first disclaimer tells us that all trading involves risk. Please be aware of and accept this risk before trading and never trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Secondly, you should be aware that past performance of any trading methodology is no guarantee of future results, and no representation is being made in this webinar that any account will achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed. Finally, all results should be considered to be hypothetical unless otherwise specified, and hypothetical performance results have many inherent limitations and, unlike an actual performance record, do not represent actual trading. A few pointers about using NetViewer, the software that we use for Trader Chat. The first thing is that if you have a question to ask, the easiest way to do so is to type a message into the chat window. If you cannot hear me, then you would need to slide the speaker volume slider up in your VoIP tray. That increases the volume of NetViewer separate to your system volume, I believe. If you'd like to talk to me, then please right-click and also enter a message into the chat window. Nobody, I don't think, has spoken to me for several years, but that's all right. There is a bit of an audio delay, which is why it's not the ideal method of communicating. Also, please be careful of mouse clicks because they pop up brightly colored arrows and speech bubbles. So they're very useful if you're wanting to point something out, but they can be a bit distracting to everyone if you're not. So please try and avoid that. We announced 2 weeks ago, of course, that we are starting with our breakaway chats. These are smaller groups targeted specifically for people in various time zones. And our first breakaway chat is our Oz Trader Chat, which is targeted at people in the Australian time zone. So it happens 2 hours earlier than our regular Wednesday Trader Chat, and it happens on a Thursday. It happens every Thursday at 11 a.m. UTC. So if that time zone suits you better, then please come and join us for that Oz Trader Chat. It's tomorrow at 11 a.m. UTC. The purpose of doing these breakaway chats is that Trader Chat has become such an institution, and it's become really quite sort of cumbersome, and there's so many interesting things to talk about that we thought we would create smaller groups and have slightly more personal Trader Chats. As a result, our Trader Chats are tending to be a little bit shorter. We're trying to come in definitely within the hour, and that's certainly something I'm going to try to achieve today. I have a bit of a cold today, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit broken up. My son has come home from his infant disease dissemination center with yet another prime illness, so we're all battling with that. But with a bit of luck, I'll make it through the full Trader Chat. Okay, we've received some emails about some things to speak about in today's Trader Chat, and so what I'm going to do, if of course you have any questions at any point, please type them into the chat window, and I'll do my best to answer them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue in the vein that we've been past several weeks on Trader Chat. I'm going to continue working with what is effectively the analyst edition of Sentient Trader, although I'm working with the Trader edition, but I'm not using any of the Trader edition features. And so I'm going to be speaking generally about the markets and about how one can make trading decisions using only the information presented to you in the analyst edition of Sentient Trader. Because the analyst edition, of course, performs an analysis of whatever market you're interested in using Hurst cyclic principles, and it leaves the making of trading decisions up to you. The Trader edition has the full capability of everything that Sentient Trader can do, and it will also make automated trading decisions for you as a result of that analysis. So I believe it's very important that even before working with the Trader edition, that one understands, of course, the trading methodology that Sentient Trader is working with. And so that's been the purpose, or the thrust, if you like, recently of our trader chats, is to explore Hurst cyclic principles and making trading decisions on the basis of it, and taking a look at an analysis and seeing whether it's any good. Right, this is an analysis of the S&P 500. This is the workspace we've been looking at over the past several trader chats, and just so that in case you're new to trader chat, let me present the big picture in terms of what we're looking at, and then we'll look at some details, and we'll get to the point again where we're going to see whether we're going to make any trading decisions today on the S&P 500, which is of course a good proxy for the American market altogether. I'll break the tension now by telling you that I don't think we are going to make any trading decisions today, but and there are some very good reasons why we're not going to make those trading decisions. We're going to be standing clear of the market because I think that the market is still very vulnerable to a lot of downside pressure, but it might be a little premature to be getting into that market. So let's take a look at the analysis. Okay, I have performed an analysis using a custom nominal model, which means that I have created my own model of what cycles I believe are active in the market at the moment. And you will notice if I turn on my semicircles, there is the easiest way for me, I believe, of visualizing the cycles that are present in the market. Okay, because of course each cycle is represented by a semicircle. Now at the foot of the chart, the phasing analysis, the results of the cyclic analysis are presented, or the phasing analysis is presented at the foot of the chart using diamonds, Hurst's diamond notation. A pile of diamonds represents the position of a cycle trough. The higher the pile of diamonds, the longer the cycle which is experiencing a trough at that time. Now, I'm hoping we might, a little later in today's Trader Chat, have an opportunity to chat about the long-term picture that I'm presenting here. Some of you might be surprised that I'm still sticking to what many people might believe is an outdated long-term analysis. What do I mean by that? I mean, in particular, the placement of the 54-month trough, 54-month cycle trough here in August of 2007. There's been some debate on our forum, and I know that many people have been discussing the fact that this particular analysis, which Hurst practitioners followed very closely for many years, placing a straddled trough in August of 2007. Let me just draw that so that you can see what I'm talking about. Here is the trough in August of 2007. As you can see from the semicircles, this orange semicircle represents the 4.5-year cycle, and of course it's coming down to form a trough over here. There are the diamonds. It's in August of 2007, and there is the trough in price. It's referred to as a straddled trough because for a 4-month for a 54-month cycle trough, it's not really very prominent. You'll notice that, of course, there are troughs either side of that 54-month cycle trough that look as prominent, if not more prominent, than that particular one. But for many years, Hurst practitioners have believed and written about and discussed the fact that this trough in August of 2007 is in fact a straddled trough of the 54-month cycle, which means it is a genuine trough of the 54-month cycle. But because of the impact of longer cycles, it appears muted in price. So I might come back to that later on in today's Trader Chat if we have some time. But why is this analysis possibly different to the analysis that you are seeing if you're working with the analyst edition of Sentient Trader, or indeed the trader edition of Sentient Trader? The big difference is that I've included a 6-year cycle. Now, that could be debated. We could spend many hours debating whether, in fact, there is a 6-year cycle present in the market. I believe that there might be, or perhaps I should qualify that, I believe there might be what I describe as an harmonic echo of a 6-year cycle. We know that there is an 18-year cycle. We know that there is an 18-month cycle. And so therefore, I believe that it's very possible that occasionally those cycles experience a bit of an harmonic echo. It's almost as if though we're playing two notes on a musical instrument at the same time, and in between the 18-month cycle and the 18-year cycle, there's the harmonic echo of a 6-year cycle, because the 6-year cycle is 3 times an 18-month cycle, and of course it is 1/3 of an 18-year cycle. So there definitely is the harmonic possibility of a 6-year cycle being present. I see Casey says, can I show you the custom nominal model? Yes, indeed. If I go to analysis and go to nominal model, I've got to remember how to do this, edit model, current chart model, then you can see the nominal model that I'm working with. It's a nominal model I created when I started exploring this idea. In fact, I was introduced to this idea, to the idea of a 6-year cycle, by a sentient trader user in Sweden as long as 2.5 years ago. So late in 2009, a sentient trader user in Sweden said to me that she believed that there was a 6-year cycle active or present in the market. So I built this nominal model. Here you can see it. The longest cycle is the 9-year cycle, exactly the same cycle as the as is found in Hurst's nominal model. Okay. Below that, cycle number 2 is the 6-year cycle, which you can see I've defined as 5.98 years. It has a harmonic ratio with the 9-year cycle of 3:2. And you can see, interestingly, that those two cycles beat every 17.9 years, which is, of course, the 18-year cycle. Then cycle number 3 is 54 months long, and that is exactly the same cycle that we find in Hurst's nominal model. So, in fact, the only difference with this nominal model is that I've added in there the 6-year cycle. That's the only difference. The rest of the model is exactly the same. So there it is. That's the 6-year cycle, which has a harmonic ratio of 3:2 with the longer cycle, and it has a harmonic ratio, well, the 54-month cycle has a harmonic ratio of 4:3 to the 6-year cycle. Okay. So there is the nominal model. I can scroll down and just show you that the rest of it's the same: 18-month, 40-week, 20-week, 80-day, 40-day, 20-day, 10-day, and 5-day. Okay, the rest of the nominal model is exactly the same as the default that comes with Centaur, the Hurst's nominal model. All right, I believe that there's still a good deal of validity to this particular long-term analysis. This long